Sweet. So what we're working on today is the mix for Who Are You? And this is a rock song. And so we don't really need to have this, it doesn't need, you don't need to have the click track going for this one if you just want to play in your MIDI parts and stuff like that. But as I said before, I always like to have my MIDI, my click track working at the same tempo as the song whenever I can do it. So I think the first thing I'm going to do today is actually start with that. And so I'm going to go ahead and the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to get my kick drum here. I'm just going to listen to this kick drum. Let me just make sure the levels are loud enough. Yeah, it's okay. I could probably, before I do anything else, let me put a master track in here as well. And I'll just turn the volume up on the master track just a little bit so y'all can hear it a little bit louder. And just let me know in the chat if it's too loud. Or not loud enough. All right, so I'm going to get rid of the F through J's on here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and find let's find the tempo here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, if you remember from last time, is I make sure my tab to transients is turned on, and I'm going to tab over to this first one. I'm going to cut it out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, like that. So I'm just going to count. Here's where the second bar is starting. And I'm going to put this at, I'm going to move everything over to bar 5. Let's call this one bar 5. So I'm going to hit Command I. Right, back in the audio room, yeah. So I'm going to say this one is bar 5 and this one is bar 6. We're going to call it like that. Boom. Moved everything over. So it's 128.49, so 128.5. And that's a rough tempo. It's not going to be exactly the right tempo. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to call this whole thing 128. So I just deleted those two things. I'm going to call 128.5. And that's going to be roughly correct. Let's just see what happened. If I put a metronome in here, if I put a click track on here, click track just starts right there. Oh, that's loud. Sorry. Okay, and you can hear it's going to drift. It's drifting. Hold on, let's just see if we can adjust that so it doesn't drift quite as much. Let's see if there's... that looks okay. I'm just looking at my kick drum waveforms here just to see where things are falling here. And it looks okay at 128. I'm just going to adjust it one more time, just a little bit, just to see what happens. 128.2. See what that does. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's actually 128 is probably closest. Because 128.2 drifts too much. And we can see here at 128, they all look like they're about on. It's like a little bit on top of the beat. But that's actually okay. Yeah. And it sounds like they actually played this probably with a click track. With the drummer had a click track on. Because he's about the same amount of ahead all the time. So cool. So 128 seems like it works pretty well. And we can make some small adjustments to that later on if we need to. But let me go ahead and, what is this? Oh, oops. Wait, what did I do? Oh, I was in shuffle mode when I dragged that over here. Let's put that back into slip mode. There we go. Okay, so now we got this. Seemed pretty good at 128. Everything seems like it lines up. Let's just listen to it real quick. Oops. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we got that there. And I'm still putting names in here. Andy is up. Where are you in here? There you are. Cool. All right, so now we're going to do a rough mix. Now I got my tempo there. And like I said, you don't have to do that right in the beginning. You can start with your rough mix, whatever you want to do. I just decided to start like that right now. So first of all, before I do my rough mix, I'm going to subgroup these. So I got my overheads left and right, my rooms left and right. So I'm going to go ahead and do my overheads into a group because I know they need to be grouped. So remember, Option and Shift, hold down this here, and we're going to send this to a new track here, and we're going to call this one overhead group. That's going to be a stereo track, so we got that there, overhead group, and we got the left here and the right here. And then same thing with my room, left and right. Hold down Option and Shift, new track, room, group, boom, like that. And those are going to be left and right as well. And make sure I solo safe these. Now all these drums here are going to go into a drum group here. And notice I'm not selecting the overhead left and right or the room left and right there. Because I don't need the overheads here they need to keep going into their group where they are already. So that's why I've got them set up like that. So I just held down Command to click those individual ones, and then hold down Option and Shift again and select these to go from the main output to a new track and call this drum group. Just like we did the other day. I'm not doing anything different from what I did the other day. It's all the same as then. So now what I'm going to do here is I am going to get my bass. I don't need my bass to be in a group right now, but my guitars, I do want those to be in groups. So I'm going to take the guitars and I'm going to, hold down Option Shift, click on the output, new track, and guitar group. There we go, boom. And now all my instruments are going to go into a group. So all my drums here and my bass and my guitars are going to go into a new group. Hold down Option Shift, new track, and it's going to be instrument group like that. I'm going to move this instrument group over here to the end, and my aux, my vocals. I'm going to put the vocals into a group just because if I want to add reverbs and stuff like that in. So I'm going to make a, hold on, Option Shift, new track, call this one vocal group. There we go, boom. Okay, so we can see, sorry, I had something under my feet there. I was trying something out there, but it's not helping with my, I thought it was more comfortable, but it's just cutting off the circulation because my feet were pressed up against the bottom of my desk here. All right, so I have a vocal group, I have an instrument group. Let me color code these. All my drums. Color code my drums to this orangey color, and my bass is going to be this red color, and my guitars, let's make the guitars kind of a brown color, and my vocals are going to be green, very similar to what color they were before, and my instruments will be purple. All right, make sure I've got everything solo safe on my drum group and on my guitar group. Cool. Awesome. So now we got this going on here. I got you, Staffo. All right, so we got this set up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my vocals and my guitars and my bass, and we're going to just start with the drums. All right, I'm going to turn my room left and right here. Let's turn those down. Let's turn the overheads down. Okay, so this is what my dry drums sound like, just the drums close mic'd. Awesome. Turn up my overhead. Dial that in. I'm gonna get my toms panned here a little bit as well. I'm gonna dial up my room. Now you can hear that when I pull it up, I'm listening for the dry sound of my drums. To me, that's really important to keep that in my mind. And I think this sounds pretty good like this. And you'll notice I'm doing this mix a little bit different from how I did the other one. I'm gonna actually start with everything, not doing any effects. And that's because this is a live band that's playing. And with a live band, you're really going for the capturing of the sound of the band, not adding a whole bunch of effects and stuff like that. With something like the hip hop beat that we had the other day, I'm really gonna be kind of like messing with things and kind of playing with things because it's more of an electronic thing. But this is like a live band, so really what I'm trying to capture is the band. Okay. Let's get here. Let's go in here as well and zoom in. I'm gonna put a marker in here. Okay, put a marker there. That's gonna be top. Go through and put some markers in and listen to the song. Bass. Okay.
Just another night.
My verse 1.
Till I saw you there. You were so complex, I had to study every layer. Who are you?
It's my chorus.
Who are you, my love?
Here's an instrumental break. The next one's my second verse, I think.
Another night.
Awesome. Oops, I didn't mean to stop that.
Another night. You were surely there. Made her way into the dark. It's like she wasn't there. Oh, who are you? Who are you, my love?
All right. This is the bridge. Guitar solo. What is up, Johnny? How you doing, man? Cool. Cool. I'm just marking down when things change and what's happening in here. And here's my last chorus. What's up, Caden? How you doing? There you go. You can hear my toms are a little bit loud in the mix. Don't need it to be quite that far up in the mix. We'll go back and check those out in a second. There's some people talking on the end there. Out right there. Out. There we go. Cool. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm just going to go over here to my this one here. I'm going to click all. I'm going to cut all my tracks here and then get rid of the ends there. And I'm just going to put a fade on everything here, so we just have a nice little fade across everything there. And probably want to put a fade on my master fader as well. But that's right there. Boom. Just that. We'll do that for now, just to make sure everything is good. Just listen to that real quick. Sweet. Okay, so now I have everything set up here. It should be pretty good there. You can see on my nice little list of things here. I've got my memory locations here. Pull that down so you can just see all those. Excellent. Sweet. Okay. I'm going to pull this up so they're just like right up here hanging out. Okay, so I've got a real rough mix. Now we need to go in here and mess with these guitars. So let's go ahead and check out what the guitars are doing. And before I start, I've already done a bunch of panning stuff. I'm going to put everything back in the middle here. My vocals, I'm going to mute my vocals. And my guitars, I'm just going to listen to this in mono, just so I can hear what everything is doing sonically. Cool. Now I'm pushing this up a little bit in guitar number 2. I wouldn't usually push things up over 0 like that, but I've got plenty of headroom over here on my master. We're not even coming close to clipping or anything like that. So I can go ahead and push this up because I want to hear it more in the mix. Let's go over here to later on, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut this one by hand. I'm not using strip silence because I don't really need to with this one. Yeah. Get rid of this over here. There's really not that much going on with stuff, so I don't really need the strip silence because it's not that much that I'm cutting out. Yeah, cool. All right. And I'm not cutting anything out of my drums because I want to keep the space in my drums. I don't want to mess with the drums and like over tweak the drums here too much right now. So there we've got this. What is this little thing right here in the beginning of this one? It's just, okay, that just sounds like a mistake. Like the person came in the wrong place or something by accident. Sweet. Cool. So they sound like pretty similar there, and over here we got our other guitars. Okay, these are like doubles. Okay, and you hear that really loud chord there, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these chords out here, and we'll deal with them in a little bit. I'm going to, first of all though, I'm going to make this one here, I'm going to cut these all up like this, and I'm going to make this one quieter to match that one over there, and that one to match that one as well, and push this one up just a little bit. So I'm just eyeballing this right now, just kind of looking at it here. I'll probably separate those out into their own little things. Let's see what is going on with this guitar here. How do you select the part that you cut so quick? I'm just moving fast. There's not really a secret to this except for just practice. You know, you just got to do it a bunch of times and then keep doing it, keep doing it. All right, so what I'm going to do here is guitar 3. I'm going to duplicate this and get that chord, get those chords into their own track. Guitar 3. I'm going to call these guitar 3 chords like this, and I'm just going to delete all this extra stuff like that because I want to deal with those chords separately. And then this part here, I'm going to, what is this? This is like a, it's like a low, what is this one here? Yeah, so this is like an octave down. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this one as well. And then 8 VB, octave down. Like that. So I have this stuff separate out here a little bit, and I think most of this other stuff is all pretty same-ish. That's like a washed out. Yeah, it's like a washed out guitar. Well, it's like, yeah, washed out guitars. That's that. Yeah. Cool. Let's see what this one's doing. Okay, so this part here is different. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that up. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, make this bigger so I can see what's going on. I'm going to pull this back just to grab the beginning part here. And where does that end? Yeah, so it starts doing stuff there again. And the reason I'm separating this out is just so I have more control over it as a mix engineer. And I like to get really picky with this kind of stuff. That's just me. I don't know if everybody, I don't know if other people really get this kind of picky, but I like to get everything separated out. Really using those keyboard focus shortcuts again, Command E to select to cut it out. But the shortcut is Command E. Or B if you're using the shortcut, but I don't like I said before, I don't like using my keyboard keyboard focus. Oh my goodness. Famous band. I'm sorry if anybody wants to become famous. I'll save this information for y'all for later. There we go. Oh, he's using keyboard focus mode. All right, whatever. All right, so get rid of this one over here. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one there. There we go. And keyboard 1, bridge, solo. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to put this bridge solo down here. And this again is just organization. Organization. Okay, we got that. Okay, cool. So it looks like we're organized now with our guitars and stuff, and the bass is doing its thing the whole time. Cool. Now let's organize these vocals here. The vocals, I'm going to separate out the chorus from everything else. So the chorus is this one right here, and this one over here, and this one. Here, this is the O. He has this lead into it. Boom. It's like a why? Oh, something soloed. There we go. Okay, cool. So got that stuff there, and so I'm going to separate out these choruses from everything else. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the chorus. And you might be going, wow, Tony, you're really separating things out a lot. And this, like I said, this is what I like to do. I like to separate things out so I have control over it. But you're going to see in a second why I do this so much, and you're going to be absolutely amazed. You're going to be like, Tony, oh my goodness. Wow, Tony, we love you, Tony. Like that. And I'll be like, yes, yes, everybody settle down. Settle down. I'm right here. All right, cool. So we got these two things here. Now, notice when I copied these over and when I duplicated all this stuff, it kept the group routing and stuff like that. So that's good there. I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to make everything mini. And I want all my everything to be, I want my tracks, my clips to be all, come on, to be all the same colors as well. Everybody on the same page here color-wise. All my guitars, and then all my vocals to be green, just so I can glance at it and be like, oh yeah, that's what that is. Sweet. All right, now looking better. So now I can just glance at things and be like, oh yeah, that's what that is. It's not like all the colors of the rainbow. All right, so now we got this in here, up and here. All right, so let's tackle this. Let's start. I'm going to mute the vocals out. We don't really need to worry about those right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this mix with the instruments first, and then I'm going to come back and deal with the vocals in a minute. So we got everything here. So the bass and the guitars, first of all, I'm just going to put a little, everything sounds pretty good right now. I'm going to go ahead and put everything back to stereo mode. And the guitars, we'll deal with those, stare at the mix on those in a minute. I'm going to just mute the guitars so we're not listening to them. Let's pay attention to the drums and the bass. So first of all, with this bass, I'm going to go ahead and throw an E compressor on here. BF76. Oh yeah. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. That bass player, he's not playing steady. So, hold on. Let's do this. I'm going to take all my drums and let's... The bass player is just driving me nuts with his unsteadiness here. I'm going to put my drums in a group. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do too, but I'm not going to spend a full day doing it. Okay, so I'm going to take my drums here. I was talking to Joe real quick. I'm going to group my drums together. Drums. Put them into IDD for drums. Drums. Cool, so I got those. Now I'm going to get my bass. Doesn't need to be grouped, but my guitars. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually elastic audio my drums and my bass. And because I went ahead and set my tempo in the beginning, this is going to be a lot easier. So I'm going to hold down Option 0, and let's just make sure. Most of the time, it's 8th notes. There's a few times when it becomes 16th notes, and that's when the tom drums happen. So far, everything's just 8th notes. And we're pretty on with that metronome, right? I'm listening for elastic audio stuff right now. Still 8th notes. There's some 16th notes there, so I'm going to cut that bar out. More 16th notes. I think these are all still 8th notes. 8th notes. This looks like 16th notes. Yep, 16th notes. 8th notes. 8th notes. Awesome. So I'm just looking at my waveforms here. 16th notes. 8th notes. This looks like 16th notes. Yeah. Cool. That's all like that. Now, what I'm doing here is certainly overkill, and this would definitely have to be a conversation with the band if they want you to even go this far with it. But let's do it now just for sake of showing y'all how to do this stuff. Okay, cool. Awesome, okay. So everything there, all my little parts here are 16th notes. Everything else is 8th notes. So I'm going to hold down Option. Oh, I got my quantize here. So I'm going to set this to 8th notes, and then elastic audio. I got to make sure I turn everything into elastic audio, and on the bass as well, because we're getting fancy like that. Fancy. Make them into ticks mode, although we don't really need to make it into ticks mode. Okay, so now I got this elastic audio. Now it turns on so I can actually do stuff with the 8th notes. Boom, apply. Let's put this in. I never do this. Let's put this in object mode. Shift, 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 and apply. Bloop, all that. And now let's zoom in here. The reason why I had to put it into object mode was so I could see. I could select all my different clips here. Let's do the same thing with this. Shift, 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 shift. I'm holding down shift when I'm doing this. Put these into 16th notes. See if that works. I don't know. Cool. It's a little bit off still, but it's not. Did it actually do anything? Yeah. Yeah. Cool, now let's do this bass. The bass is just 8th notes all the way through as far as I know. So I'm just gonna go bloop, And now let's listen to it. And I probably just made Joe really angry. Did you get angry, Joe? Don't be angry. Oh yeah, sounds so much better. Yes, much better. Cool. Is there a section where he's really off? Okay, we'll get to it. Probably this middle section, right? Well, let's see what happens. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, Joe? Elastic can't fix it. Let's see, shall we? Shall we? Maybe we can't. Alright, so we got that there, and while we're listening to that, I'm going to let that play through. We're just going to keep EQing, we're going to keep messing around with this. Now I want to show you an EQ that I love. Huge fan of this EQ here. This is Pro Q3. I'm going to cut out these low frequencies here, and I'm going to go up to here around 1. This is one of my favorite EQs. I'm going to bring out the mids a little bit, just because I just like the sound of that. It sounds very like indie if we pull that up like that. I'm going to get rid of all this high crap that's up here as well. We don't really need all that. Okay, I'm going to put a fade on that bass. The drums and everything were a bit off there, so I'm going to cut this so I come back to it. Okay, now there was some, definitely was off a bit in that section right in here. And we can hear the drums and the bass are off right in here. It's because the drums are really on the front end of things. So what we'll do here is I'm going to take these drums, I'm going to move them over like this, move these bad boys over like this, and let's see here. So this first part here, we need to zoom in and grab this and mess with this here. So we're going to do this one. Okay, so that is a mistake. Let's get rid of that one here and put one right there. I'm going to put it into slip mode. So I got that one. Let's make the grid smaller. 8th notes. Okay, that looks all pretty good there. Move over here. You see this? I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of all these, put it right there, and then move that over like that. Boop. I don't know why that one is in the wrong place. AC4. Get in the right place. What are you doing? Oh, your relative grid. Haha. Just kidding. There we go. Sweet. Everything else looks pretty good. And now remember, the correlation between my drums and my bass is all relative, right? So if the drums and the bass are off, I can either fix the drums or I could fix the bass. And maybe this section here is the part you were talking about. The bass player is pretty off. Oh yeah. Did I not quantize that? Or is it just that far off? Oh, you know what? I think I didn't quantize it. I didn't quantize it. That's why it was off. I was like, why is that so off? There we go. Quantize. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go. Oh yeah, much better. That lead-in was like light years better. Yeah, no, it sounds good. This part up here should sound better. Oh yeah, smooth like butter. Like butter. And butter is even smoother if you keep it out of the refrigerator, but then it goes bad faster. Whoa, whoa, what's going on? Cooking tips with Tony. Boop, boop. Move that over like that. There we go. What's going on with our bass? Yeah, it looks better. And that bass note was off. You, sir. Where are you supposed to be? Right there? Better. Sounds much better. All right. So now you'll notice also one thing I want to just point out over here. I'm using polyphonic mode for my bass because even though it's a monophonic, that he's playing it monophonically, I just hate monophonic mode in Pro Tools. I do not think it sounds good at all. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and save these from themselves. Little bits here. Don't worry, drummer, I got your back. I can use my arrow keys to get to the end of my clips. So I'm just clicking over to the right to go to the ends of all these clippy clips. Okay, this stuff all looks pretty good. And here, and I can go left arrow to go back to the, oh, I already did these, that's why they look good. All right. And this is really useful if I need to go to the end of my clip. Yeah, that looks good there. Cool. Okay, so I need to fix this one here. Warp mode, engage. Hey, I said, oops, I said engage. Now, see what just happened? When I moved it over, it did that weird thing with the end there, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I'm gonna put a little fade on these here, so it's not like a weird gappy gap there. I'm gonna put a fade here on the beginning of this as well, and hopefully there's enough other stuff going on with everything else that we don't notice it. Let's see. Ugh, gross. Okay, so what I need to do is, wait here, let's put a little thing here as well. Hold on. Okay, and then if you're looking at this going, and you're looking at like what I'm doing, and you're being like, man, Tony, whoa, like too fast. Yeah, I've done this a million times, all right? So you'll get there. You'll get there. That's all I gotta say about that. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna really cheat on this. I'm gonna pull this one over. So I just cut it right here, and I'm gonna go in here to my TCE tool, and we're in elastic audio mode. I got my TCE tool here, and I'm gonna just drag it on over like this. And then I'm gonna crossfade these two here. I'm gonna turn off my TCE tool, go back to my regular tool, and then I'm gonna crossfade these bad boys right there. And that's like some extreme advanced stuff right there, but that I just know how to do that just because I've done this a million times. Now it sounds great. All right, go back to the beginning of this one. Yeah, you look good. Hey, how you doing? You look good. Yeah, thanks. Oops. Okay. Oh, you do not look good. Go in here, warp mode. Whoa, there is no warp. What's that? Oh, hello, dog. You just dropped your bone. Hold on a second. You have a bone emergency. There you go. I don't know if you were eating that or you were just sleeping and you just woke yourself up, but there you go. Go on, go back to sleep, baby. All right. You want to come over here? Come on. Come on. No? All right. Yes? All right. The dog has started making smacking sounds with its lips like a little old man, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I love the smacky sounds so much. It's ridiculous. All right. Okay. So this one is all right. So I see what they did there. We don't need it to be like that, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my waveform. I'm just going to drag this back over there. Oh, we did need it to be like that, I guess. Okay. Interesting. You want to go back? You can't make up your mind, can you? Oh, you're a true dog now, aren't you? Go back. Ugh. There you go. Lie down. Don't lie down on your bone. Okay. So I see why they did like that. I'm just going to leave it because whatever. I'm going to do a little crossfade on here so there's not like any kind of weirdness. Oh, yeah. Let's zoom in on this one over here. Back this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into warp mode. Get rid of you. Oops. Zoom in. Now, if your tool is not doing what you want it to do, which happens sometimes, you just have to zoom in or zoom out sometimes to make that work right. Cool. That one I shouldn't have to do any crossfading with because it seems like it's all right. Let's do this. I'm going to take this one here, get rid of that one, pull this back. Whoa, that is ugly. Put this here, move that over like that. And then this one here, I see what you're doing. Stop it. Okay. So I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to do what I just did. And like that. Go over here, grab the TCE tool, drag it over, do a little crossfade. Whoops, not like that. Hold on. I'm going to back this one up a little bit. And then crossfade this. Cool. All right. And, oh, one more. Drummer, what are you doing to me, buddy? Now, like I said, you need to discuss like what you, if you really want to get into stuff like this, you need to talk with the band first and see, and like let them know, hey, I can clean this up for you. But it's gonna sound a little bit, and maybe do it and see what they think, see if they like it. Depends on how much time you want to put into it, how much they want to pay you. Some producers want to do this kind of cleanup and some don't. So, all right, there we go. I think we're good now. Let's just listen to some of these edits I just did. Good, cool. Sweet. Looking pretty good so far. Sounding pretty good. You can't really hear the edits. I mean, maybe a little bit just because I know they're there, but I don't really think so. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get that kick drum so it's nice and thumpy. Make sure it's just more steady. I'm going to use the, let's use the Compressor Dyne 3, and we'll just use this preset here, kick thump. I'm going to pull the threshold down a little bit. Pull the gain up. And that's just going to keep it a little bit more steady. Cool, and the snare drum, same thing. I'm going to use a compressor on here. Again, just to keep it steady. There's a snare compressor in here. Just want it to be around 3 decibels peaking. Great. Now I'm going to go into my room group. Now I'm not going to apply effects to the individual rooms here, mics, because I'm just going to affect them as a whole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to suck out the low end of these a little bit, just a little bit, not a whole lot. Put this down to 6 dB, put this to like 100. Just so we don't have too many low ends that kind of interfering with each other. And the same thing with this overhead group. That. I've done an option to do that. And this one here, I'm going to put another EQ on it. choose a different EQ. Which ones come with Avid? What other EQs we got up in here? How about any air EQs? Multi. No, nothing like that. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here to my native instruments. And let's get the solid EQ here. I thought I had it. Oh, here we go. This one, the passive. This is what I want. Oh, no, that's not, well, not exactly what I wanted either. I wanted the EQP1A. Let's see. EQP. I just have the one that comes with UAD. Let's use that anyway. Whatever. We'll do it. We'll do it. Y'all can like have something to look forward to. All right. So I got this. Oops. Oh, I don't need this up anymore. I was just kind of seeing what things we're doing here. All right. So this one here, this one's a big confusing one if you don't know what it's doing. Over here is my low end attenuation and boost, and then here's my mid-range boost, and then here's my high end attenuation, stuff like that. So here, let's just solo this out. Well, I can't solo. I'm already soloed. Here, I'm gonna unsolo. So we take these, watch this. Hear how much that boosts that signal? This adjusts where we are. And then this one like rolls up the highs. No, it's gonna be too crispy, but I wanna get the high end from these ones here, from my overheads. Because that's really what's capturing our cymbals and stuff. And I wanna make sure we have enough air in the cymbals. That's pretty good. I'm gonna attenuate my low end a little bit. Solve these out here. I don't want to attenuate too much. Attenuate, let's pull it back. Just gonna pull it down from here, let's do 60 hertz. Now you'll see this one here actually says CPS. CPS is cycles per second. Whoops, I forgot that I don't have my marker on. There we go. Cycles per second, which is this is the first EQ. It's like one of the old EQs. And so it still says like cycles per second or kilocycles per second. So it's, yeah. I got the Waves Pultec. Awesome. Oh yeah, you do. Oh, here. Do I have the Waves Pultec? I do not believe I have the Waves Pultec. Let's see. Do I have the Waves Pultec? I do not. I do not. At one point in my life, I did have. I should figure out about this because I bought the gold bundle a long time ago. I don't really use it anymore, but I did buy it a long, long time ago, and then. But that was before everything was downloadable and before you had like your user areas and stuff like that. So before I even had a Gmail account was when I bought it. So I should see if I can get that gold bundle from them. Although I don't use it. It's all Renaissance stuff and I don't use the Renaissance stuff that much. It's good if you don't have anything else. All right. But the Pultec, yeah, the stuff you got in the Platinum bundle is great. All right, cool. So that's that. Now let's get the drums a little bit more bumping. I'm gonna put a BF76 on here just to smooth it out. I'm gonna put all the pads, all the ratios in here. Hold down Shift and click them all, and then get my release to be fast and my attack to be slow. And it's just because I like my drums to be a little bit pumpy. There we go, sounding good. Not gonna pump it too much. That's a lot. Cool, I can turn my kick drum down a little bit. There we go. Awesome. And now I'm gonna put an EQ on here to shape everything. And let's use the well, I know some of you have the Slate stuff, so I'll use this virtual mix rack here to show you how the Slate stuff works. There we go, here's my Slate. And what I would do is I would start off with just drums. Let's just see what we got here. Let's just start off with a preset. Drums, bus. And I don't need my compressor here. I don't want to use the compressor. I'm just going to use the EQ here. Cool. There we go. Nice. And now they just sound a little bit more kind of pulled together here. We're kind of like looping a weird part of the song here. All right, cool. Let's go back over here. Let me get my grid back up to 1 bar. Go back to the, whoops. There we go. Cool. All right. Nice. Now, just so you know, the Slate stuff that I just pulled up, it is a subscription service. You can pay like $10 a month and get all this stuff, and you can cancel at any time if you want. I think there's like a student version, a student discount thing. It's like, I think it's $10 a month. It's awesome for $10 a month. I think it's well worth it. Just skip, breakfast one day or something like that, or skip breakfast for a couple days. But well worth it. It comes with a whole bunch of cool stuff, and it sounds fantastic. It's a great subscription. And then, like I said, if you find you're not using it after a year, just cancel it out. But I love it. So that's the Pultec. That's the Slate right there. All right, you hear how good everything sounds? It sounds really nice and alive. Cool. All right, now let's get over to our guitars. Okay, so what I want to do here with my guitars is I'm going to do some reverb trickery and stuff on here. We're going to start, here, let's make my drums smaller. Actually, I don't even need to see my drums anymore. Let's just go ahead and hide the drums. I'll just keep my drum group open here. Cool, yeah, the bass, let's change that back to warp mode, to waveform rather. Don't need to see my bass. All right, so we can just focus on the drums here. The guitars rather. So let's do this. I'm gonna start with this one here. I'm gonna mute this. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this guitar is I want to give it some width, and I'm going to use reverb to do that. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to put a reverb in, stereo aux input. I'm going to call this one guitar reverb. There we go. Boom, guitar reverb, and solo safe it. Let's put a reverb in here. And since we're talking about the Slate stuff, and let's go ahead and use the Slate reverb. The Verb Suite Classics, which comes with the Slate stuff. And let's go up in here and, ooh, they've even got things for guitars. Guitar Thickener. Let's see what this one now. We gotta make sure that our dry wet is set for wet, 100% wet. And I'm gonna send over my guitar to it. Let's see what happens. Track, guitar reverb, bloop, there we go. There it is with no reverb on it. Actually, I think that fits the vibe of the song, personally. I think that sounds really good. It fits the vibe of the song. So I'm going to keep this here, reverb like that. Yeah, it sounds nice. I mean, this song needs to be washed in reverb anyway. I mean, they've got like a ton of reverb on stuff anyway. It just feels like it needs to be washed out in reverb, so I'm going to wash it out. And what I'm going to do here with this guitar, though, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make another mono aux track. Now, this is something you don't see me do very often. I'm going to call this one guitar delay. I'm going to call it guitar 2 delay specifically. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan it over here to the left and solo safe it. I'm going to put a little delay on here, and it can be any delay really. So I'm going to use the Mod 3, which comes with Pro Tools, and we're just going to I'm going to take it off of sync, although sync could work, but I'm going to take it off sync. Actually, let's sync it up, and we're going to sync it to the 16th note, just see what that does. And I'm going to send it over to that one, my new track that I just made, guitar to delay, bloop, like that. Set it up like this. Awesome. And that doesn't sound too bad, but what I want is I want that second guitar, because I just want to get like a little stereo spread going on, but I want that second guitar to also go to the reverb. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to group these two guitars together. Make a new track here, stereo, guitar 2 group. And this guitar 2 group that I just made is going to go to my, what's going on with my buses here? There's a million buses. Okay. It's going to go to my guitar group. There we go. Boop. Solo safe. And now I can control the level of both of those. But what I need to do is this here, these two, I'm going to send them to my guitar reverb. Get that nice little spread there. And it feels like I also need to compress this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and compress it. I'm going to use this compressor. It comes with UAD. It is the Teletronics LA2A. Just because it sounds so good, and it's going to smooth everything out really well without making it sound compressed. And that's what I really want to do with this thing. So let's just... let's skip over here. Cool. Maybe a little bit less reverb. Cool. Can you hear how that sounds? Awesome. Sweet, this one here is going to go to the guitar reverb as well. Let's hear what that, let's get into here. So it's in the second chorus. Now here's a good place for automation. I'm going to take my guitar here, this one on the guitar 1 and the guitar 3, it's coming in. I'm going to automate the pan on it. And what I would do is I'm just going to put it in slip mode here because I don't want it to be exact. And I'm going to grab it and drag it over and then mouse like this. And this one here is going to be on the left-hand side, like that. I'm gonna kind of make this gradually go over there. So now, and this here, I'm gonna pan this back. I'm gonna make this cross over. Maybe not that much. Maybe like a general, like that type of a thing. Yeah. See what that does. And then this one here, where are we? This is the bridge solo. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna select that so I can see which one I'm dealing with over here on this side. I'm gonna put this LA2A on here as well to smooth that out. And then let's just listen to that. I might EQ this one a little bit as well. Now I've got this, I want this one to be pretty dry. What is up, Jason? You're a bit late to this party, but whatever. Better late than never, right? All right, so we got in here, option, whoops, oh, wow. There we go. Getting rid of things again. There we go. Okay, so hold on. Option, drag it on over like that. And I'm going to pull it pretty far down. And these two here, I'm going to actually pull them up more so they've got more space. All right, I'm going to mute this one because I don't want this one yet. I'm going to turn the peak reduction down. I'm going to put the LA2A on all these. And this is why it's nice to have plugins. And you know, one of the reasons why I really enjoy having plugins over real gear, because I mean, even though real gear is amazing and it sounds great, you just can't use it as much. And the plugins sound really good. So I got this here. Okay, cool. And I'm pushing this reverb a lot, maybe not that much, but I really want to give it the depth that reverb gives it. This one here, I want to make sure we're getting those low, those nice mid frequencies there. So I'm going to pull back. Let's just listen to that part there. Where are we? Is that where everything else came back in? No, that's not yet. We're not there yet. Now, that's not a really good EQ for a guitar, but it's the frequencies that I want in here. Cool. Okay, so let's do some more panning stuff with this because we got this guitar 3 in here. Let's just listen to this one. So that's like this thing, and what's going on with guitar 1? Okay, and then what happens later with guitar number 3? So far I'm going to pan this over. Okay, so it kind of comes back into the middle here, so I'm just going to grab this over here. By here, this one, I want this one back in the middle. And more gentle curve. And I think it's okay to kind of have these both kind of be more or less in the middle here. Whoops. Let's see. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe this one comes over here a little bit. Let's just hear what that sounds like there. What's going on with this one? Why is that one? Oh, you know, oh wait, what did I do something? Is that, did I do? No, that's just what it does. I see. So this one here like this. Oh, it's because it's coming from this thing over here, so it's going to sound a little bit weird right now. That's okay. Cool. I think that sounds nice. Tasteful. Elegant, if you will. All right, so we got that there. Now let's go ahead and let's tackle these chords here. I kind of left these off because I knew they were coming. I heard them before. I was like, oh, chords. And I also put this in the wrong place. I don't even know if we need that one there. But we got these chords. Let me get rid of that. And what I'm going to do with these bad boys is I'm going to take them, I'm going to pan them. I'm going to put this is a weird thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a reverb on them to the left. Here's my chords. So I'm going to make again, I'm going to make a mono aux channel. I'm going to call this one guitar chord reverb. And I'm going to pan it left. Actually, let's pan these left and pan these right. And I'm going to group these. There's all sorts of stuff going on right now. Group these, guitar, chord, group. And the guitar chords are going to go to my guitar group. Make sure I still save these. And my reverb on here, I'm going to use the deverb. Mono deverb. Make sure your gain is set to not -4 because the preset's always -4. And I'm just going to use a small little room. And let's go ahead and solo this out. And let's listen to how this sounds. Sounds great, right? Sounds really, really good. I'm going to make sure I send it over to that reverb track. Guitar, chord, reverb. There we go. Now it should sound better. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in pre. I'm going to turn this one down and balance these out. And here that just gives it a nice kind of overall washy sound. And I'm going to go and take this, move this over to my guitar reverb as well. And the reason why I'm doing this is to give this strum the appearance of stereo width, but I'm doing it using a mono reverb. Oops, sorry, dog. put this into the main guitar reverb. I think that sounds really nice. I'm gonna push it a little bit hard. Push this one up a little bit more. Hear how that sounds? That sounds cool. Let's hear it with the song. Great. Let's not loop it. Fantastic. Now if I want to make it a little bit louder overall, I just push this one right here, which I do want to make a little bit louder. Cool. But I want to EQ that. Let's go ahead and use this EQ. I'm going to cut out, well, actually, no, I'm not going to use this EQ. I'm going to use my Fab filter again. I just want to see what's going on. You see all these frequencies in here? Now here's the cool thing about this, is if I mouse over this, it's going to capture these frequencies, and I can just go up here and grab it and pull it down. Now, I don't want just that one frequency though, so I'm going to go ahead and whoa. Do it like this, and a little bit like that, and make it like wider, not narrower. There we go. And then put not quite so much. Cool. Now what I might want to do is actually use the compression feature of this, which is dope. Turn off the auto. Set my threshold. So that way when it hits harder, it's not compressing those frequencies until it actually needs to. It's like a frequency compressor, which is dope. Cool. There we go. I'm just gonna, nice. Sounds good. Now this part in here, I want to go in here and do some stuff with the drums. I'm gonna do a volume automation on the drums because I want the drums to come back in the mix here. And what I'm gonna do is, remember, I actually am not a fan of doing my automations for my volume on the volume itself, on the volume fader itself. I'm actually gonna put a trim in here, multi-mono, other, trim. And I'm gonna automate this one here. Remember, claw click on the parameter you wanna automate and then select enable automation. And now in here, I'm gonna use, I turn my my grid on and I'm gonna pull it down. Cool. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just put a little mark here. So it's more of a natural sounding fade. Maybe put it in right there. Move these around. Maybe like this. I'm going to put in a couple. Now the reason I'm putting in a couple of points here is just to make it curve, because remember, Pro Tools doesn't have a way to curve this stuff. Maybe I need to do that faster. Let me get rid of these actually. There we go. If you hold down Command, it won't let you, it won't move things around as much. I can adjust it left and right without adjusting it up and down. And then this one here, I need to move this over like this. Let's see what that sounds like. That sounds good there at the end. Let's see what it sounds like in the beginning over here. That's a little bit too sharp of a cut still. So let's do like this. Okay, what I want to do, it's a little bit hard because it's also I don't want to get too picky, because it's like the type of thing where it's like, well, people really notice, like how are they going to notice? Some people will, some producers probably will, but other people won't. Also, I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff in here and just use my overheads and not even the room, just because there's like a little bit, you can hear it, there's a little bit of like wackiness kind of going on with stuff with the, like, because I use the elastic audio. So I'm going to get rid of all that. And then the room, I don't know if I'm going to, whoops, wait. Oh wait, I just got rid of too much. Hold on. There we go. I want to get rid of it. These here. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Yeah. And with the overhead, maybe just pull the overheads down and the mix. So let's put a trim on this one as well. Let's go in here to this. Oh, and I'm doing this all in volume. I messed that all up. I said I was going to do it on the trim, and then I just didn't do it on the trim. There we go. Let's look at the right thing here, shall we? Okay. Now, go back and do all that again. Pull this down. And zoom in. Get rid of this. Come over here. Put the fade up right over here. There we go. Let's listen to this. That sounds good. Now the room though, I feel like the room needs to come down as well. Because I don't want my room at the same level as everything else. I really just want my overheads. And I'll have to fix that later, but cool. Or we could do it with the room. Here, let's just hear what it sounds like with the overheads out. No, definitely want the overheads. Read you. Okay. So let's just fix this sudden drop in volume. There we go. Cool. Much better. Cool. All right, so let's finish this up. Let's go ahead and mess around. We got all, I think all the instruments are sounding pretty good right now. Let's just tie all these together with a little compression on the instrument group over here. I'm going to use a bus compressor. Let's use the one that comes with native instruments, just because that's going to be something a lot of y'all can get your hands on pretty easily. That is the, here, let's go, where is it? Native Instruments, solid bus comp. I prefer to use my UAD one, but this one will work as well. So we'll just call this one Mix Glue. There we go, Mix Glue. And the secret to this is you really don't want a lot of compression at all. Go back over here to my verse.
Just another night.
Not yet, not yet. So I've got a lot there. I just want like a little bit. Sweet. Pull the bass back a little bit. Okay, awesome. Now let's get a vocal reverb going on here. Vocal reverb. Oh, well, whatever. I'll do it this way. Vocal reverb. And let's use the VSC again. But we're going to use a different reverb in here. Let's use a preset here. Vocals. Vocal Heaven. Let's hear what Vocal Heaven sounds like, shall we? And let's put my vocal chain on here. Remember, I can right click. Where is it? I can right click up here. Where is it? Right click on the track and go to Recall Track Preset, Tony Presets, Tony Vocal Clean. That's going to pull up some stuff on here. Ooh, you're using my virtual mix rack in here. And it's got all my stuff in it, my vocal stuff. It's got an EQ. I've got my EQ, one band EQ here. I've got another EQ here. Probably doing something similar. Then I've got a compressor, an EQ, and this here revival. I don't know what this is actually. Thickness. It might be some kind of like a tape type of thing. But let's hear what this does to the vocal here. Let's go to my verse 1.
Just another night.
Okay.
Till I saw you there. You were so complex, I had to study every layer. Who are you?
All right, cool. Let's move this over to here as well.
Just another night.
Too much compression. And whenever you're using presets, this is the thing. Whenever you're using presets, you gotta mess with the threshold on your compressor.
Just another night. Till I saw you there. You were so complex, I had to study every layer.
Okay, so this one, we're cutting out a lot of the frequencies here. Oh, that's why. It's got this thing on it here. I'm trying to turn you off.
Just another night. Till I saw you there. You were so complex, I had to study every layer.
All right, well, let's just looking at this stuff here.
Just another night.
Too much.
Till I saw you there.
There we go.
You were so complex, I had to study every.
Yeah, so what I don't want is I don't want I don't want it to be too thin and crispy sounding. The other thing that's going on here as well that I want to make sure is I don't have my de-esser in here. So I'm going to pull my de-esser up. This is the Waves de-esser, one of the few things I do own from Waves, well, that I kept over here. I love this de-esser, one of my favorites.
Just another night. Till I saw you there. You were so complex, I had to study every layer. Just another night. Till I saw you there.
There we go.
You were so complex, I had to.
Awesome. Now let's send this over to the reverb here. Let's get it going to our vocal reverb. Oops, not the vocal group. Vocal reverb. Vocal reverb. Ah, not the guitar reverb. I think I'm getting hungry. Also, I have a really cute dog in my lap. Okay, there we go.
Just another night. Till I saw you there. You were so complex, I had to study every layer.
It's a beautiful reverb, I gotta say. Let's soul this out.
Just another night.
It's a
till I
lot.
saw you there. You were so complex, I had to study every layer.
What is, oh, at some point these got cut out. Hold on, let's see. I think I did that before. Well, let's go, yeah. You hear how it's cutting out the beginning of words?
And just another night until I saw you there. Yeah, she was so complex, I had to study every layer. And just another night.
I'm gonna hold down Option and drag these over here so it's on my chorus as well. And my chorus, hold down Option and drag this over here as well so the chorus has got that. Okay, cool. So now let's go in here.
Just another night till I saw you there. She was so complex, I had to.
I'm gonna send my vocal reverb over to my vocal group. Awesome, sounding good. Let's get a little bit more reverb on the chorus.
Another night, you were surely there. You made her way into the dark. It's like she wasn't there. Oh, who are you? Who are you, my love?
Awesome, sounding really good. Now, let's add some real magic into this, shall we? We've been holding back on the magic sauce so far. So let's do this. And this is something we're going to talk about on Friday, which remind me in Zoom to talk to you all about Friday. What we're going to do here is... Oops. Joy Division vibes. Absolutely. That's why I'm watching this out in Reverb. 100% Joy Division vibes. Yep. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this chorus and we are going to duplicate this chorus. Duplicate, hit OK, boom. And now I'm going to move this stuff down a little bit right there. And I'm going to slap a Melodyne on here. And we are going to... Let me close the Melodyne. We don't need to look at the Melodyne yet. Why? Update. Oh. Wait, what's happening? Where are you? Update to Melodyne 5. I know. Why are you... Don't... Okay, dog. Go back over there. Go on. Do you not want to go over there? Oh, Nirvana. Huh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so Melodyne. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to bounce this section down here. So I'm going to just grab it from here, go into Melodyne, I'm going to hit transfer, and we're going to hit go.
Oh, who are you? Who are you, my love?
Just see that, yeah, put it in, great, okay. So do that one more time. I just wanted to make sure it was recording it in even though I muted the track. We're going to do that one more time.
Oh, who are you? Who are you, my love? Oh, who are you? Who are you?
Cool. All right, so I got all my notes in here in Melodyne, and I don't remember the key. It doesn't really matter though right now because we're going to do some stuff. I'm going to get rid of these first ones here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solo this one out.
Oh, who
So I'm going to get rid of these first two here, delete that.
Who are you? Who are you, my love?
I'm going to cut this one here. Don't bite the cable. Don't bite the cable. dog was like, I don't want you to talk to people out in the real world anymore. I'm gonna eat your cable. There we go. So now we're gonna zoom in. Do little zoomy zooms. Oh, well, I forgot that's how you zoom. I don't use Melodyne that much right now. Okay, so I got this here. Pitch. Okay.
Who are you?
Okay.
Who are you? Who are you?
Okay.
Who are you? Who are you?
Right, and then this one here. Oh, I didn't cut that enough. A minor. Sweet. Thanks, guys. Okay, so we got this. Now, let's mix this back in with this over here.
Oh, who are you? Who are you, my love?
Sweet. Sounds good, right? Oops, zoom out. Oh. Wait, oh. Do the same thing over here. No, you're all good. Don't bite. Move these around. Do the same thing. Same thing. All right, and then this one here. All right, cool. So now you can hear it sounds a little bit weird. So what I'm going to do here is I can double click. I'm going to go ahead and use my formant tool here. There we go. Now, we don't need this to sound completely natural because it's going to be buried in the mix with everything else. So let me undo that formant shift. I'm going to do all my formants. I just need the tone to be in there. To be the tone in here. So we have it in the back. Whoops, I don't want that there. Nope. Over here is where we need to go. And I'm going to make this into stereo. And see how different that sounds? Here, let's go ahead and put that in here. Right? How cool does that sound? Let's see here, focus this up a little bit. Right? How dope does that sound? Sounds super cool. And the thing is, it's when you know how to do it, it's like, whoa, okay, that's not that hard to do. I mean, I make it look a lot easier than it actually is because I've done this a lot, all this kinds of sorcery. But basically, it's a really cool trick that you can use with Auto-Tune or Melodyne rather. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop there just because to do it again would just be redundant. You don't need to see it again. You can watch the video. So I would normally do it to this back end over here, but I'm not going to. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that I can actually delete this out and it's still there, and the reason why is because it's actually playing it from Melodyne here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and right click on this. I'm going to go commit up to this insert. And I'm going to bounce, basically what I'm doing is I'm going to bounce out the audio from Melodyne here. And it's going to keep everything afterwards, all the important stuff. And then I'm going to take this. Oh, here, chew on this. Don't chew on my finger. Chew on this. There you go, baby. That's my Melodyne audio right there. I'm going to just take that and drag that over here as well. So I have that again at the end. And it should be basically the same. There's something weird happening with the drums, but I'm going to ignore that for now. Cool. All right, so we got that there. I'm just going to put let's just put a maxim on top of this here because it sounded pretty good. I'm going to use maxim just to make it louder. I'm not actually going to do that right now. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to put the maxim on right now because I don't want to blast you guys out. I don't want to deal with it. Also, my dog is starting to get impatient, so I think she needs to use the bathroom. All right, so what we do is we take this and we bounce it out. So go ahead, top, hold down shift, click the bottom one, out, so I got top and out. I'm gonna command option B, file type, wave, add MP3, interleave 24-bit, sample rate 96, nope, 44.1, import after bounce, no, offline, yes, who are you, make sure I put my name, Tony G, who are you? Bounce. Bounced files, yes. Yep, cool. And now it's going to bounce it out. While it's bouncing it out, I will try to entertain my pup. Nom 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 nom. Oh yeah, you're so easy to distract. All you need is like a little stick to chew on. Yeah, and that's pretty much now. That took me about what is that, like, we started at like 9:45 and it's now 11:30, so that's like an hour and a half to do that. And that's a lot. I mean, that's a deep dive. That's a pretty advanced, mix right there. Anybody would be, any band would be super happy to get that as like a demo, like a rough mix. Now, it's not what I would call a done mix because obviously I would want to listen to it on different systems, and I'm just doing it in my headphones right now. But that's basically how we can go through all this stuff and just make sure everything's in the right place over here. Bounced files. Oh no. Where did the bounced files end up? Somewhere weird. Okay, I don't know where they ended up actually, so let's do that again. When in doubt, redo it because I don't know where it ended up, and well, I guess I could look for it on my hard drive. Hold on, let's see. Who are you? Wave. Where'd you end up? Document Pro Tools. Oh, you just ended up somewhere. Okay, over there. Oh, wow. Interesting. What kind of cans am I using? Oh, that's a good question. These are Phonin. Hello. These are Phonin 4000s. These are actually what I use for DJing, but they actually sound really good in the studio as well. I don't know if that's forward or backwards for you guys, but that's what they are, Phonin 4000s. I don't know if you can see that. But P-H-O-N-O-N, Phonin. They have a newer version now that's a little bit better, but they're great. And they have some that go over the ear, like around the ear as well. But like I said, I got these for DJing, so I don't use them. I mean, I use them in the studio here just because I don't really need to buy better headphones. But I also use my Bose. Just I'm used to listening on my Bose. I've got some Bose that go over the ear. I'm just not using them right now. Some reference ones. The over the ear versions of these, the Phonins, are really good. These are like basically audiophile level headphones for like a fraction of the price. I did a whole bunch of one of my friends turned me on to them, and I did a whole bunch of checking out of reviews and stuff like that. And all the reviews were from like audiophile websites, and they were just like, these are amazing. And there's actually a few DJs, if you're in the DJ world, Dixon uses them on stage, which is interesting. But I got them because these are like $150 or $250 or something like that, which is, you know, reasonable price for DJ headphones, and they just sound amazing. And then every time one of my friends uses them, like when we're DJing back to back or something, they're just like, what? Are they fairly flat? Ish. They have a pretty good bass response. Like they're not like the Dre beats, you know, like super bassy, but I wouldn't call them super flat either. But I don't. For me personally, I don't really worry about that too much because I monitor with monitors. Like I check my mixes with monitors, and I want my headphones to sound nice. I want them to sound good. So I'm not super concerned with the flatness. Because I'm not trying to actually mix in the headphones. I use my headphones to make more like have fun and make beats and make things sound cool, but not necessarily for my final mixes. But yeah, they're it's a good price, you know, $150 to $250, something like that. But like I said, I would try the over ear ones. The only problem with these is you can't really hear them anywhere because nobody carries them in the United States. They're very hard to find. You can find them online, but you can't go to a shop and check them out. Well, I don't know if you could go to a shop and check out any headphones right now. So I don't know. I would check out some reviews and see what people say. Are they flat though? Not exactly, but they're not as bassy as like some others. Let's see. What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing a save copy in. I want to do a save copy in. Oh wait, before I do save copy in, I need to do a save as, because I forgot to save this again. And Tony G. Who are you? 2010, week 12. Mix. Actually, here, let's do this. Mix like that. Boop. And now I'm going to do a save copy in. Save it on my desktop here. Make sure I can save all the audio files. Main playlist only if there's any other stuff in there. Interleaved, because why not? Okay. Desktop. There we go. Hit save, copies everything over. Now, what I want to also make sure here, is that I take these bounced files. Let me go onto my desktop and open this up. And I'm gonna go ahead and close this session out. I'm gonna open it from the one on my desktop. And I'm gonna just drag these in here. And it looks like everything opened up fine. Great. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and save that, close it out. And that's that. I'm gonna call that done. Don't eat my cables. Cool, you're eating my cables. I just specifically asked you not to eat my cables. Cool. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a 10. Let's do 15 minutes. I'm gonna take her outside for a walk. Let's do a 15-minute break. I'm also gonna grab a bagel because I'm quite hungry. And, oh wait, hold on, I don't need to talk about my break on the recording.